We are the Nerd Eternal Network.
Hello, and welcome to the Nerd Eternal Network. Today, we're playing Icon's Crimes and Misadventures. Or Icon's actual play. I'll be your GM for the day, Jason. And with me, as usual, will be Zach, a.k.a. the Fairy Prince.
Hey, nerds.
Curtis, a.k.a. Black Dragon.
Hola.
Mike, a.k.a. Anyone.
Hi.
And Taylor, a.k.a. Muscle the Muscle.
Howdy.
And do you remember what happened last session?
We chased after... We got into a fight in a junkyard. It went kind of screwy. Whenever... what was his name? The person with the sword and the guns? Quartermaster?
No. Where's that? I had his name written down somewhere.
Masterclass.
Masterclass, that was it.
Masterclass.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he tossed us all into he pulled a chunk of the Fey realm into where we were. So we had to book it very quickly. On account of a looming family reunion.
I'm sure your mother just wants to check up on you and see how you are.
She wants to hear from her baby.
Make sure he's
Well,
eating enough.
we gave her a phone to call him.
We have gone through a lot of burner phones this campaign.
Yeah, man.
Well, you're playing criminals.
Yeah, we're
It's kinda
bad
what burner
guys.
phones are for. We are keeping Track Phone afloat. We should get a sponsorship.
Excuse me. All right. So yeah, that was pretty much it. You tracked. You got suspicious of the Hellfire. You let go. You tracked him to his wherever it was he was going, his junkyard, and basically got jumped by a bunch of superpowered mercenaries. Master Class seemed to be more or less the leader, but there was also Medusa, who was trying to turn people to stone. Jabber, who was trying to talk.
Brown
to
Recluse.
No, that was the name was something. It was a Red Widow.
Oh, okay.
Was the spider motif. Because we have a hero in that setting named Recluse. So.
Oh, okay.
Goshawk was the flyer. And then you had, they believe they had an energy controller as well.
There's the flame person.
They had someone with a sonic scream.
Yeah, that was Jabber.
Nah.
Because it wasn't actually a scream. She was just talking at you at an exceptional volume.
Right. That was a fun spin on it.
Maybe I should have named her Jabberjaw.
Instead of grabbing our ears and screaming, we're just like, will you shut up?
But yes, when things started going badly, Masterclass pulled out a small rod or a wand or something and basically snapped it over his knee. Sealing some sort of deal he had made with Fairy Princess' mother that allowed her to overlay her part of her Fey realm on the earth. But you made your getaway. A couple of you, getting thrown by Muscle. Black Dragon did that fairly well.
Decision.
That's right.
I think it was anyone that had kind of a rough landing from that. But you got out of the affected area. You had a discussion with one of Fairy Prince's mother's people. Gave him a phone to give him. Since then, and you'd already kind of started it, I think, in the previous session, putting together whatever allied forces you can find for a final push against the Hellfires. Because the last time y'all fought them, it, well, I guess that overall it was pretty much a dead heat. So I know, Muscle, you had talked to Dynaman and family.
Yeah. Which I think last time I talked to him, he agreed to help once we had a location to go to.
Yeah, I think you had pretty much secured his agreement. I want to say Eddie had called the guys back in Detroit.
Yeah, he had called his flunkies. No one particularly, powerful or anything, but useful bodies.
Mm-hmm. Just go around and ask for volunteers. I need some cannon fodder. I just need some cannon fodder. Anyone?
Yes.
Was there any? Who are you going to try to recruit today?
Oh boy, that's well.
Or any idea you've got for kind of getting prepared.
Yeah, I think I wanted to definitely reach back with well, I've already reestablished contact with my friend at the CIA. The other thing that comes to mind was that Council of Magicians thing. I'm trying to remember the exact name of that organization. Although no, I can't because well, that might be complicated since my cover's been blown as the Night Magician. Ooh, I didn't even think about that. But if we're desperate enough, maybe I mean they are stage musician heroes, so maybe they'll be understanding. Although my reputation could well, I guess I'd have to think up a way to negotiate all that, but that's the other thing I could think of off the top of my head.
Okay, now what magician organization is this?
I'm trying to remember what the name was. This is basically I needed a. Oh, it might have been. It might have happened. I wonder if it happened during the bust-in on the Crucible when we needed some kind of magic contact. It might have been that. It might have been that issue when they came up last. If only I could remember which issue number that was. But they're basically it was like a loose confederation or maybe just more like a professional like a circle of magic based heroes. I think heroes who disguise themselves as stage magic.
Okay. All right, and yeah, your CIA contact is willing to help. I think he had to contact some of his higher ups, but they're eager to have these guys taken out. They don't know how infiltrated their own ranks might be, and if you've got people in the government being blackmailed, Technically, it's the U.S. They're not really supposed to be operating, but yeah. They should technically pass it off to the FBI, but and Spear. All right, and Fairy Prince, I believe you had a plan as well, didn't you?
I was gonna see if I couldn't sweet talk the Crucible. Definitely not calling them Crucible Junior into pitching in to assist, because at this point it is pretty standard hero stuff.
Yeah, but the Crucible only usually gets involved in magical.
It's also reaching into something that, full-on world domination stuff that might tip some sort of cosmological balance that a vast and powerful mage such as himself might be concerned. The mundane affects the magical, and the magical affects the mundane in a synchronous relationship and all that. Whatever line of horse crap I can feed him.
And of course, he's actually trying to recruit a teenage kid. So I'm not sure that we know that.
I think
you had figured it out when you were running around inside the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, because y'all got attacked by his uncle and he popped into the armor. Well, great uncle or great uncle, I forget.
And failing that, my backup plan is to see if I can't. We established that I ended up tricking my aunt into marrying a troll. I want to see if I can't tap that troll and a few of his buddies as a prepay that particular favor.
Okay.
Just
Might I
big,
suggest we
dumb
offer them alcohol?
Or if things are going poorly, a divorce.
All right. So, Curtis, you've contacted your people, but they seem to be dragging their feet.
What about and I know the Detroit gang is iffy about me. But he does have a small group of regular henchmen that he keeps around. They're competent henchmen, but they are thug level operatives. They might have low power levels and some specialties, but nothing to get excited about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those guys will show up where you want them to.
But not the gang.
Like I
rats
said,
crew.
they just seem to be, you've got tentative control, but you're out of the city a lot. And now you're like
I've been
calling
away.
them up to go fight something that they don't really feel has got anything to do with them. Like nobody you've talked to.
I will remind them.
But...
Yeah, I will remind them. It's like, look, I get it. I've been busy. I've been busy on a big job. And this job is going to put in a really big position. Bigger than gang rat stuff. And that means more money. Of us.
All right, give me a willpower roll. See how convincing you are. 7 is the number to beat. Yeah, you get us all killed.
I mean,
Dragging us in his
am I really surprised?
Look, I'll ask around. A lot of the guys are, iffy about this. A little worried that you put
Think
you
about it.
put too many eyes on us. All right, where do we need to send these guys if anybody volunteers?
Have we worked that out yet?
No, you don't know exactly where like the head of the Hellfires are.
I'm going to tell them to stand by, and I will be in touch once we've the location set. We're
Okay.
finalizing plans.
All right, so he hangs up. You don't have a lot of hope for the end. There
And,
wasn't a lot of
just
enthusiasm.
for grin, name. Yeah, just for grins, I'm going to throw out the name Health. We're going to be taking their place. We're going to be running their operation. And just like, I'll be in touch.
All right.
The hang up's like, yeah, freaking losers.
Fairy Prince, who you said you were going to go talk to the Crucible first?
Yes, sir.
Are you going alone or taking someone with you?
Is anyone willing to come with me? I don't think it would be a good idea to bring Eddie. No offense. You are not a people person.
I love people. What?
I don't think I've ever wrestled a troll. I'd be happy to come along.
Well, first we're going to talk to the Crucible.
What?
But,
Oh, sure. I love the Crucible. I cried in front of him.
They did
It's a
have a moment.
fantastic performance, by the way.
All right, so y'all head back down to Georgia. Are you using a particular illusion as you show up?
Yeah, just making us both look like very plain, unassuming people in a very bland Ford or Toyota 1995 piece of junk. Very forgettable.
What are you actually driving? Zach? Oh, did we lose somebody?
Hello?
Hey, okay,
Hello?
you back?
Yeah, what was the last thing you heard from me?
You were describing the very forgettable vehicle. And
Yes.
I had asked you what you were actually driving.
Oh, I'm going to assume just like a regular van.
Okay. All right, so y'all pull on up to the house or up to the down the street. Who's knocking on the door?
Fairy Prince will take care of that task.
All right, you knock on the door. You hear somebody inside. Come in.
I look at Muscle, shrug, and open the door.
I'll
Yeah.
follow behind.
When you open the door, you see into the room you'd seen before. But once you both cross the threshold, you're suddenly just in this all black room. You can see each other, but it's like everything else is just black and in darkness.
I take out my cell phone and turn on the light. Hello?
As you shine your light at the edge of the darkness, there is a one of the adepts. You met a few of them. You met one or two of them before when you looked at Wolf Witch. And then they all kind of step into the light, and you're surrounded by these magician-looking guys.
We're here to request a favor from the Crucible. There's a significant battle coming up that may interest them.
One of the men steps forward, and he has got this old, like Victorian-era looking monocle that he holds up to his eye. He closes one eye and holds the monocle up to the other eye. and he studies you very closely, Fair Prince.
Oh, I go ahead and drop the illusion I've tossed over both me and Muscle.
He nods. Just figured out it was useless. Puts the monocle up.
Forgive me, sometimes I forget that I have these rays.
Mm-hmm. Like you forgot the last time you were here?
I mean, the last... What do you mean forgot? What do you mean forgot about the last time? I was under no illusion. I was under no illusion.
I believe you went looking like Wolf Witch, didn't you?
No, that was anyone.
That was anyone.
Oh,
And he was
that's
shapeshifter.
right. I was thinking illusion. You're right. That was shapeshifting. Okay, fix that then. We'll roll that back. He didn't say that. But he makes some comment where, basically where are your other friends? The rude one and the one brave enough to impersonate Wolf Witch.
You sussed that particular facet out already. They're off handling matters of their own.
She did get my apology basket for that, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Oh, thank goodness.
I suppose
Why should you
in some ways we
apologize?
should
You're
thank
the
you.
one.
We figured out that was a hole in our security, and it's now fixed. We thought through your illusion as soon as you pulled up.
Oh, well. Glad to help, I suppose. Do we get to speak to the Crucible and present our case to get his help, or we just kind of like stand here in the dark?
This is honestly a little unnerving.
It is a safe place. No harm will come to you. None you don't bring yourself, at least. What is your business with Crucible?
Fairy Prince will just lay out. You probably already heard so far that me and my associates have been dealing with a ring of blackmailers who have recently attempted to expand their goals and their methods and towards more world domination ends. And we've also learned about the shadowy puppet master behind them that has prompted that, and we were seeking aid in the coming conflict against the professor, in order to take down the Hellfire organization.
And your first thought was
And
to come
again,
to
he'll
Crucible for this.
How do I put this?
I mean, they are a secret take over the world organization. We thought it would be in his purview of things that he might need to handle.
And even if it is... Oh, go ahead.
Well, I mean, just because we're lacking other superheroes on the planet right now.
And even though this is not a more traditional issue in the Crucible's wheelhouse, being world conquest and hyper technology and the like, there's some symbiotic relationship between cosmic forces that... Listen, I'm very tired right now. Could you please just help us out here before... The guy's trying to get nukes. I don't want to see that happen. And he might actually pull it off better than any of the other hand-wringing, maniacal little clowns that have tried to do this before. Because he's been able to go under the radar of every other cape and under the radar of every other cape and tight sword out there. And that scares me. There's a balance he's going to upset in this world, and that's probably going to affect the more mystical side of reality.
All right. Give me a willpower roll. Let's see how convincing you are. Ten is the number to beat.
Should be doable.
All right. Huh. I max rolled my difficulty roll for the 10, and you minimum rolled
Oh, that's unfortunate.
for an 8. Mundane matters of who rules the world is not the purview of the Crucible. He is to protect the world from things of outside this reality. And then he sort of eyeballs you, such as you.
I
Well-
have just as much right to have one foot in this world as you do, sir.
He doesn't say anything, but he doesn't look like he agrees with your statement.
All right. So before we get into a fight, because we're not going to get into a fight, and I put a hand gently on Fairy Prince.
I'm not going to try and boil his eyes.
Yes, but also, like, you deserve to be here. That's a general statement. Any living creature that was born here gets to be here. You get to be here. Anyway, other than that, they do have a magician who can open a portal to the Fey realm, because I knocked her ass out before she could do it, but she's still running amok with that group. Therefore,
He looks
there
at you
is
skeptically.
an involvement.
He looks at you skeptically. And what is the magician's name?
Oh God, what was her name? The
What was her-
detective?
I pull out the paper with all their names. Where is her? This lady.
I told her I wanted to hurt her for a while. A year and a day.
She was opening a portal to his mama.
You don't have to bring up that part.
Well, that's the portal she was opening at the time. I assume she can open more than just that. Or she's connected directly to her.
De La
And that's
Montoya,
just-
that was it.
Thank
Though
you.
the Fae refer to her as De La Montoya LaFay. I'm sure that's not it.
Noted.
Though when you drop her name, he reacts a little bit. That is clearly a name that has come through before.
So, maybe you don't have to be involved in all of it, but if you can take her off the board, that's within the purview of your job. Or the Crucible job, should I say.
We've never known of her taking any particular action in this realm. Her name circulates because of her dealings with the Fae. Very well. He can make no promises, but he will bring this to the Crucible's attention. You may go. And all the magician guys step back into the darkness. And then everything lights up, and when your eyes adjust, you realize you're standing on the front porch again.
I wish that he'd been able to see that exchange.
Well, that was way creepier than last time.
Just a little bit. This is why I don't like dealing with them.
Yeah, I don't know why. Why would they even act like that? That was like a bunch of pointless maneuvers to look fancy. Anyway.
We should probably leave.
Yeah, are we done here?
Yep.
I mean, we
Got
got
here
a sort of,
before
kind of okay.
Yeah.
I'll write the number to my burner phone and just set it down gently at the gate. Just, you could send a text if you're helping or not. Thank you. And I'll walk away.
And Mike, you were going to. Oh, that's right. That was that team of magicians, or at least collective of magicians that you were going to talk to.
Yeah, not nearly as creepy, but probably also not nearly as powerful either. And the one person we had named from that group was Doug the Prince.
Do you have anything else noted about him?
No, unfortunately, I never really fleshed that out.
Oh, okay.
So you can judge the effectiveness of contacting them accordingly.
All right. And does anyone know Doug Prince, or just knows he's connected to this organization?
Oh, they met before. We've used them as a contact before.
Okay.
Yeah, it was when we needed a contact with it was when we had to establish a contact with the Fey world. That wasn't through fingerprints for some reason. I think that was the context. It was definitely during the Crucible heist.
Okay.
And in fact, I'm looking up the notes now. Yeah, we're trying to arrange a meeting with the Fae in Savannah. Probably to like get it into the Crucible mansion. But that's when we introduced Doug Prince, the magical stage magician.
Okay. Well, he's already a contact, so if you call him up, he's more than willing to talk to you. Under what name does he know you?
Probably would have been as the Night Magician. So that goes back to what I was wondering before about whether the revelations about the Night Magician.
Well, there really hadn't been much out on you publicly. That was one of the things Montoya was complaining about. Was the fact that she couldn't find much information on the Night Magician.
Okay. So it might
Just that he'd been over in Europe a while, and she couldn't actually find a whole lot on him.
Okay, so I haven't really been compromised yet as the Night Magician.
Not the way Montoya was talking.
Okay.
Now, the professor that talks to y'all across videos always seems to have some. His wording always seems to be in a way that just raises the kind of hair on the back of your neck. Is anyone out there? Yeah, that kind of thing. So you're already a little suspicious that he may know something, but
okay.
But where they dumped any private information they could find on everybody, they couldn't really find any private information on the Night Magician.
Okay. Well, I think I might try to contact them, and I might just be looking for maybe more like strategic consulting, if not rather than actual muscle, because again, they're definitely not on even the ones with actual magical ability aren't anywhere near on the level of what the Crucible could bring to bear. I think I would be mostly trying to like take advantage of their kind of like their expertise and experience with like subterfuge and misdirection to figure out how do you outmaneuver a secret until now secret organization that's used to keeping itself hidden. Because it's not, it's really, I think they'd be mostly useful in a kind of like that kind of consulting brainstorming sense, because it's a loose confederation to start with.
Yeah. Well, Doug will pass your request around, and there'll be going back and forth over it. It is an interesting challenge. And they quiz you on what's going on, and the fact that you don't know where they are currently.
Yeah, I'll try to just play coy and focus on presenting this problem. Maybe not so much as we need your help, but hey, this is an interesting challenge. How would you solve this? And give them a chance to flaunt and show off their ability or their knowledge, because they are as a body very you know, well, you can imagine they're performers, so ego stroking goes a long way with this crew.
Like actors. But so he passes that along, and they're going back and forth. So you have hope that they'll come up with a few interesting strategies. Let's see. Musco, was there anybody else you needed to talk to? Or had you recruiting Dynaman basically been...
I'm just double check with Dynaman, like, hey, we're still doing the investigation part, still making sure he's ready to go if we figure it out, and if there's anyone he can get in contact with that might be helpful.
Well, most of the heroes off the planet, but he tells you he'll check around and see who else he can scrounge up.
I don't know if this is, considering who we going up against, Indispensable could probably hold his own against some of them, but I'm not super comfortable in throwing I don't know if he's fully sidekick yet, but I know he's in training. He's probably in that super school or something. So, like, not sure if you want to pull him into it, but if you think he's ready, he can come.
He'll probably bring Grayson. Or no, he wouldn't call him that. Yeah. He'll probably bring Indispensable. He could use the practice, but he's fairly sturdy.
Yeah, if anything too bad happens, I can just throw him 3 blocks away.
Sounds like a plan. So he basically, tells you, keep him informed, let him know, when y'all are ready.
Yep. Man, after I close my phone, it's way easier to make friends. You've been spending 18 episodes doing it.
All right. Oh, that's right. Fairy Prince had one more group he wanted to talk to.
Oh, right, the trolls. Yeah, I can deal with this one myself.
Oh. Also, you can call my old burner phone to talk to your mom, see if she wants to help, or at least stay neutral for a cost. Look, I'm just saying, if you could convince her to stay neutral on this, that takes one of them out.
No, that is absolutely something I need to do, Muscle. I need to have a heart-to-heart with my mother. God help me. But first, the trolls. The trolls are easier to deal with. They're very base creatures.
All right. How are you contacting the trolls?
Well, I'm going to say all I have to do for this is find the nearest bridge and go under it and say the right name. Because where do trolls live? They live in tunnels. They live in bridges. They live in caves.
Fair enough.
Under a bridge.
And the internet. Can't forget about the internet trolls. We're not dealing with the internet trolls right now, though.
You can't miss trolls on the internet.
We have standards, damn it.
The internet's where most of them have gone. All right. And what is the name of the troll? The one that married your aunt.
I'm going to say Viceroy Grubbub.
Viceroy Grub Bub.
He has no idea what he's viceroy of, but he insists he is a viceroy.
Did he insist this before he married your aunt, or only afterwards?
Before he married his aunts, and before he married my aunt, and you know what? He has enough goats that the other trolls listen to him about it. Because clearly a viceroy would have a goat herd that big.
Seems reasonable. Alright. So you go into the bridge, you stare into the darkness into the bridge, you say his name or whatever word summons him. And he comes crawling out of the darkness.
Viceroy Grubbub, how have you been? How's my aunt?
She's not happy. She's never happy.
She never is. I'm sorry. I thought the married life would do her some good, but apparently it doesn't. It hasn't.
Maybe when babies come.
Maybe. So, I have a... Well, I've gotten myself into a little bit of a situation with some of the more ambitious mortals. I was wondering if you and some of your closer associates would be willing to assist us into whenever the time comes, be it either lending your prodigious strength or perhaps your ability to find ways into places that you otherwise shouldn't be able to.
And why would we help you?
What if I tell you that within a year or so, I'm going to be making certain moves to secure a considerable amount of personal power. When that comes, I will remember this favor that you do for me and mine, and there will be lands and bounty in the fairy lands for you.
He strokes his very pointed chin with only small amounts of stubbly hair. And while he is thinking of what you said, give me a willpower roll to see how convincing you are. Or how well you might be able to convince him that, that you have a shot at these moves actually working.
Yeah.
Because he is technically family. He knows you're on the outs of the family. 8 is the number to beat.
I'd actually load up, if you will. Thank you.
Major success. It's a gamble.
As all things are.
Because what if your mama gets a hold of you first? But
here's the thing.
He'll take the chance.
Excellent. Thank you for placing your trust in me.
He goes here. Y'all do the handshake or whatever. And when you do, he squeezes a little bit and pulls you in close. There better not be any trickery.
I promise, Uncle Grub, there won't be. Uncle Viceroy Grubbub.
Yes. He lets go and pat you in the head. You're my favorite of my wife's family.
Oh, I always love to hear that.
I would hate to have to eat you if you cheated me.
I would hate for you to have to eat me too, Uncle. Well, I bid you adieu, and I will send a message. I just hand him a burner phone and wait for this to I'll send a message to this device, and whenever we make our move, whenever we need your assistance.
He nods his head. Stick the device in a little pouch on his belt.
And do tell Auntie to drop by. Thank you for often.
She speaks of you often.
Ah,
Or yells.
I'm sure nothing but loving things.
Yeah. He turns around and disappears back into the shadow.
I leave the bridge, head back to our hideout, and burn my clothes.
Oh, come on. Uncle Grubbub didn't smell that strongly of swamp. Of like wet earth and loam. Alright.
I just step out of the room. Why are you burning a football field inside the base?
A football field?
Well, like a wet football field, but a football field, yeah. It smells like you're burning wet mud with sweat in it.
Oh. I just had an in-person meeting with Uncle Viceroy Grubbub. I came up with the name. Why can I not say it? Grubbub. Grubbub.
So I'm assuming all trolls smell like that?
Oh, not all trolls, but most.
But your Uncle Viceroy Grubbub, definitely.
Yes.
Okay. Well, carry on then.
Alright. So you more or less get your backup lined up. Now the only major task you have left is finding out where the Hellfires are. Do y'all have any ideas how you're going to go about that?
I'll put in a call to J304, see if he's up and running and knows anything.
So you call him. It rings and it rings. And it goes to the messages.
Well, hey J304, this is Muskell.
Oh, greetings, Muskell.
Just
Sorry, I always screen my calls.
Oh, that's great. That's neat. Understandable, I guess. You doing okay?
Yes, things are going well.
Alright.
I am integrating myself into the financial networks of the larger world.
Please don't go overboard and do crazy nonsense that'll get superheroes on you.
No, I've merely been investing.
That sounds great. Should I give you some money so you can do that for me too, if you're willing to? But anyway, other business. You've probably seen on the nets, if you're connected in, that us and the Hellfires have started getting into it a little hotter and heavier.
Oh yes, they released all sorts of information on you, and you released all sorts of information on them. And now I know all the information on both of you.
Well, I don't feel like I was really hiding much from you, was I?
Oh, not you particularly now.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm glad we're still friends. Hopefully.
Oh yes, your group's done nothing but be a boon to me. Now I am free.
Yeah. Do you believe those Hellfires would still be after you if they found out where you were?
Quite likely. They seem the sort that would try to reclaim a lost resource.
So, by any chance, could you help us find them first?
I would certainly be willing to.
Thank you kindly, because, like, we've got... Obviously, you know me. My name is Muskell. I'm built around fighting things and doing heavy lifting, not exactly investigating.
True.
So I
Perhaps
was
you should leave that to the Night Magician. Or perhaps the Fairy Prince.
Well, I was also hoping to contact you for any investigation you could do.
I'll begin looking into the financials. Obviously, the resources connected to their current aliases, since you released all those documents, have been locked up. But I'll look and see if I can find any sort of paper trails to foreign banks or crypto currencies or anything like that they might have used to try to move the money around subtly.
Understood. Thank you.
I'll contact you in 24 hours.
Sounds great. Hang up my phone.
I
Ain't it great to make
apologize
friends?
for not.
What was that, Chris?
Apologize for not remembering his name. The Hellfire that we bullied, at the gas station and pursued,
Bobby Mitchell.
he didn't know to get a hold of the Hellfires and their new location, the ground, whatever,
Correct.
restructuring, whatever they did.
Yeah, he talked like they were going, like individual cells were kind of going to ground on their own. But he was also kind of a low man on the totem pole.
Right. He was all that big a deal. Well, we could always give them a target to get them out of their hole.
All right, what do the rest of y'all think of that plan?
Not opposed to it. It seems like the most direct way to do it.
So the next question will be, how would you do it?
Yep. Honestly, probably just keep messing with their operations over just a montage of us continuing to mess with our operations over the next few weeks or months or however long it takes until we actually get them to respond directly.
Well, that's the trick.
'Cause, like,
You release their names and I can't remember. Did y'all release information on who they were blackmailing?
I don't believe we released that.
I think it was mostly just names and numbers.
Yep.
Okay, so they could still have some of their business going on. Fair point. So how do you plan on disrupting their current operations? Considering they were all already having to go to ground. Are you gonna start tracking down the people they're blackmailing, or revealing the people they're blackmailing?
I vote revealing who they've been blackmailing a little bit at a time.
Okay, Mike, you were about to say something?
I'm a little hesitant to do that. I feel like, the people they're blackmailing are kind of like the primary victims of the Hellfires. Are we able to what if we just went after what we know the Hellfires care about, but based on their public identities? And I know maybe we're just swapping out one set of innocent bystanders for another. But
another option is we know they want Jay back.
I'm sorry. Who do they want back?
I'm not saying they want the robot. They want Jay back.
Oh, Jay. Okay.
His database. That they want his brain. Now I ain't saying we literally use him as bait or give him back to him. If they thought they were coming after him, if they thought they had a lead on him, they might send some higher ups that actually, can give us a direct line to the larger operation.
I would want to disagree with that. One, I don't want us having any bad blood with J304.
I'm not talking about actually using him as bait. It's the let them think they know where he's at, not actually put him at risk.
I mean, when he contacts us in 24 hours, we can talk to him about that, see what he's comfortable with. Or see what it's comfortable with, they're comfortable with. I didn't really ask. Need to check it. Need to check that preferred after when they call back. Anyway, we can check with Jay in 24 hours on that.
Okay. Now, is Fairy Prince actually going to call his mother?
Yes. Just gonna put the phone down and around a circle of salt. Put on speaker or in a little middle of a circle of salt. A few little protective charms set up around it. Punch in the number and then hit speaker. And just sit in a little chair beside it.
It rings a few times. And a female voice comes over. Very light. You can almost imagine bells, in the background as she talks. Now, is that what was Fairy Prince's mother's name again, or her title?
I don't think we ever established it. Let's just go with Queen. Let's just go whole hog and say she is a figure that's been associated as been referred to as Titania, but a lot of fairy queens have been called Titania.
So this light little voice answers the phone. Fairy Prince, you would assume probably a pixie, maybe one of the other smaller forest spirit types. Queen Titania's residence.
Hi, this is Prince Tinsley. Could you put my mother on the phone?
There's just a momentary pause when you said your name. I will see if she's available.
Thank you so much.
And then you hear hold music. It's like elevator music version of traditional, like Scottish Irish folk music.
I see Mother's modernized.
Then the music stops, and you hear your mother's voice telling someone that will be all. And you can tell her mouth is, you can tell she's not speaking into the phone when she says that. Then her voice gets louder as she's clearly put the phone up to her ear. Tom, I've been waiting for your call.
Mother! it's been so long. How are you? How are the gardens? How are the dogs? How's the armies?
It hasn't been that long. I saw you just a week or two ago. You seemed very
It's been a
intent
while.
on shutting the door in my face, though.
Oh, Mother, you should know me better than that. Surely it was just a miscommunication. You know how infectious mortal affectations can be, and how confusing. It was thrilling to see you again. It was just a very busy time, and it was just a very poor time for us to actually have a nice conversation.
But over the phone, it seems so impersonal. You should come home,
Oh,
Tom.
perhaps.
If you
Now,
come home, I
Mother.
won't be angry.
Now, Mother, we both know we've had our differences in the past, but I'm wrapped up in certain obligations on this end of the veil, and you understand how obligations can be.
We all have our obligations. You have the obligations of a
Exactly.
son to his mother. You haven't seemed to care
And
much
you
for
have
those
the
obligations.
And there are obligations of a mother to her son that you've rarely ever held up. So we have both wronged each other. But tell you what, Mother. I want us to make each other a promise.
What promise?
If you will stay out of my affairs and the affairs of my compatriots, for the time that we are dealing with the mortal organization known as the Hellfires, being led by the the as of yet unidentified mastermind known only as Professor. If you will stay out of our affairs dealing with that, then once that is concluded on my part, I will see about arranging a meeting between us. I believe it has been far too long since I've visited home, Mother, and it might be time to, in fact, bury the hatchet. Right wrongs that have been done, and set out a new, better tomorrow for us both.
Why, Tom, it all sounds too good to be true.
Mother, when has anything I have ever said been too good to be true?
I don't know, child. How often have you spoken?
Oh, I love you, Mother.
Now, there's no reason to insult my intelligence. I taught
Fine,
you
then
better
we
than
both
that.
know.
Keep your stories believable.
Fine, then we both know the only way this ends is if you kill me or I kill you, or we trap one or the other in some undefined, unending torment. That is our destiny. That is our fate. That is the story that has been set before the both of us. And you raged at me for it, and I raged at you for it. So please, let me tidy up things on my end, and then we will settle things between us. Wouldn't it be so much nicer, so much easier, so much smoother than dealing with mortal go-between all the damn time? Trying to chase me through one portal or this portal, trying to catch me whenever I had just have to pop over to Fairyland for a quick getaway, and suddenly, there's the hounds on my heels and all that delightful thing.
Very well.
Let me finish my business. Go ahead.
Very well. We can make this agreement. provided that you put in a time, that we put in a reasonable timetable for when you have to arrange this meeting. None of that agreeing you'll make one, but then you can just keep putting it off.
A year and a day. Does that sound? That sounds like more than enough time for us to deal with what we need to on our end.
The winter equinox.
How far away is the winter equinox?
I'm trying to remember what time of year it should be. Let's say it's about 5 months away.
You are one for very tight edges. Or very sharp edges, aren't you?
Oh, yes. You know this.
Well, Mother, fine. That is the deadline. And then you and I will have a pleasant conversation.
And in return, I will offer these enemies of yours no further aid.
A deal is a deal. You have my word.
Swear by your name.
I swear by my name given to me by my illustrious mother, Thomas Tinsley.
Very well. And she seals the deal with her word, with her name. I look forward to seeing you in the winter.
And I you, Mother. And I you.
And then she's basically laughing like Maleficent as she hangs up the phone. You think you may have made your mother's day.
I'm going to need to make a whole lot of nail bombs.
No, just douse yourself in glue and roll around on iron filings.
Well, that'll hurt me too.
Oh, well, fair. All right, the next day, Jay 304 gets back with you. He calls you.
Howdy, Jay.
Hello, Muscle. I have not located the Hellfires as of yet, but I have located several pieces of property that I believe they have bought through intermediaries. There's a large ranch in South Dakota.
South Dakota, large ranch.
That a shell company that they went through several layers of separation. But ultimately, it's owned by one of the shell companies that I know they use. There was a small island off the coast of Alaska.
Small Alaskan island.
And then he has a list of like apartments and stuff just scattered around. These are probably more individual safe houses for agents. Or perhaps people on mission. He's not really sure.
Well, thank you kindly, Jay.
Certainly. Is there anything else I can do for you, Muscle?
There was talk about using you in name only as bait, but I'm not too comfortable with that. But I'm also not the one that made the idea up.
In what way? And what do you mean by in name only?
Eddie, you want to explain this?
Oh, the idea is if we need to flush these guys out, we know that they want you. And the idea is to let them think that they've got a bead on you so we know where they'll be. However, looks like we got two really good leads to track down that would be probably more fruitful.
I see. Well, if you need to use my name, we can arrange for something. Obviously, I refuse to be actual bait.
Yeah, we don't want to put you at personal risk.
But I'm sure we could concoct a way to make it look like I'm still in the warehouse y'all left me in. I have moved myself to a more secure location. It was part of my needs to get into the financial institutions. He'll begin working on the necessary stuff to use as a backup plan if it's needed.
Also, just while you're on the phone with me, by any chance, have you had contact with your sibling?
No, not as yet. I've been busy getting myself settled.
Oh, okay.
I will contact him when I'm ready.
Understood. I mean, you don't have to. I was just curious if it had happened.
Yeah, not yet. We're not all as family oriented as you.
Well, you gotta appreciate family that hasn't tried to kill you while you got it.
That is fair. If there's
And just
nothing else.
based off the history of J303, seems like a stand-up automaton.
I'm sure he's swell, Muscle. If there's nothing else.
Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to waste your time. Have a good day. Nice talking to you.
And he disconnects. Alright, so that's the information y'all got right now.
Going to a ranch or going to an island? Or do we release one to Spear and then go after the other one ourselves?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Oh, thanks. I try to have a lot of them. I'm trying to shake off this dumb look I've been having for so long.
Says Muscle.
I think the most.
Author.
And Musco's not a dumb guy. But yeah, no, releasing one to Spear and then targeting the other one ourselves is probably the smartest and most efficient course of action.
Alright, which one are y'all going to release to Spear then?
Show of hands, who wants to go on an island adventure, or who wants to go on a deadly dude ranch?
Oh,
Most of that was cut off.
we're all
quick.
bad guys here. I'm gonna say the island's probably the most likely heavy target. That's probably the one we really want to hit.
Mm-hmm.
So we let Spear have the ranch.
All right. Is everybody good with that plan?
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
So Muscle, since you kind of know the guy in charge of Spear, the senator, I assume you'd be the one likely to contact him.
Yeah, just give the basic information of it, the shell company that owns it, and proof that it's connected to the
Yeah, and
Hellfires.
Jay sent you all the information you would need, the paper trail.
Yeah. Just kind of show him the information.
The senator's impressed. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of financial sleuthing you did to track this down. They did an impressive job of hiding it.
Yeah, this may, just fair warning, this may or may not be the main hideout, but it's one of the, it seems like a big one. So there's probably something of value there, even if they aren't there.
It might be a clue to him. And he's really ready for some payback. Let's see. So yeah, he tells you he will. He's got a task force put together to deal with the Hellfires of people that he's certain he can trust. That he's certain, weren't compromised. Like basically like he was compromised.
Understand.
But they should be able to put together a response to hit this place within the next 48 hours. He's not going to give you any more detail than that.
Oh, I don't need them.
So
It's getting hit.
He thanks you for the tip.
Thank you for handling a problem for us while we continue to try to find them.
So he hangs up. So that leaves y'all going after the island. Are you going to call in the troops, basically?
Yes.
All right. So Eddie's like personal goons will show up wherever he tells them. Where are y'all going to group up at? So obviously all of these people have to meet up at some point. So where's y'all staging ground?
I know where I would suggest.
Where?
Oregon. Because there's no way they're going to try to fight us where the Oregonian lives.
Well,
that is actually a very good idea.
Are you going to alert
not...
the Oregonian that you're coming?
Do I have his number?
I believe he left his number with you. If you ever wanted to go straight, he was there to help you.
Hey, you know what? I'll make a phone call to the Oregonian and let him know that we're planning to execute a big attack on Hellfires.
I kind of think the Oregonian was one of Muskel's first attempts at making friends.
There was certainly a respect and a desire to not get beat up.
Right.
So you call that number. It's about 2 rings, and you hear a man with a very gentle voice. Think somewhere between, Mr. Rogers and Bob Ross.
Hello, is this the Oregonian?
Yes, it is.
Hi, this is Muscle. The
I
Muscle.
thought I recognized the voice.
So,
It's a great day to be the Oregonian.
you may have seen some big news about a group called the Hellfires lately.
Yes, yes.
I'm sure the
Oh, yes,
government's
and
been in
your
touch
names,
with you.
your names come up in those reports.
Yeah, you know, big supervillain group that I'm happening to be fighting, completely coincidentally.
Are you
Just,
sure you're still a villain?
Yeah, I'm getting paid to do this. Don't worry about it.
I'm
This
just
is my
getting this
retirement.
impression there might be a hero in you yelling to get out.
Hey. This is my retirement job. Don't make it all weird.
Oh, so you are quitting.
Well, yeah. But anyway, we kind of have a place we're having to travel to, hoping to find the secret hideout of these people. And we needed a safe place to kind of group up, hop on a plane, and get going. And we thought Oregon was kind of like gonna be a safe place, but we didn't want to, disrupt your home turf without you knowing.
How much of a disruption is it going to be?
Well, we assumed they wouldn't want to fight us there because you'd be around.
Oh, well, that's flattering, son. I appreciate that vote of confidence.
So, the plan is to chase them down to a secret island base they have, standard supervillain stuff.
Yes.
It's just getting all the people together that aren't us. You may not know Dynaman. He's another hero, pretty solid stuff. Works in, I believe, Seattle.
Oh, yes. He's up in Washington. I never had the chance to meet the gentleman.
Oh, he's got great numbers. Statistically, he's really good. He's just kind of small town in comparison to...
I think you talk about that in your book.
Oh, you read my book. That's so nice of you.
Well, after I met you, I thought I might as well. Get to know how someone...
Oh, wait. That book talks a little bit about the union that's formed about doing crimes in Oregon. You probably actually know more about the way people do crimes in your state now, don't you?
I had heard rumors that such an organization existed already.
Probably should have wrote less rules about it down in that book. Oh well. But yeah, are you okay with us meeting up with our people there to go take on? Some of them are heroes and some of them aren't heroes.
Give me a willpower roll. See how convincing you are.
Oh man, willpower is one of my best abilities. That's a 6.
He's a little hesitant. I mean, he doesn't own the state. He can't stop you from bringing people here. Though if you showed up with villains, that could be an issue. What villains are going to be showing up? I mean, you and your friends, obviously.
Us and some... Eddie, are all your friends you're inviting, like, creature-based?
Oh. I love to work with the freaks. So, if they're not like me, my guys on my team, they gotta wear I'm gonna drop the voice for a second. He makes them wear a fetish hood. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but the hoods that look like animal masks of various assorted animals. If they don't look like they're from the island of Dr. Moreau, they wear a funky leather mask that makes them look like a random animal.
Oh. He's got a motif game.
Yeah,
he's got a theme he has to stick with.
I will inform the Oregonian of the theme.
Okay. Hey. He looks like a lizard. He makes his guys wear animal masks. Not the weirdest thing a superhero has ever run into.
Yeah.
He supposes he can give it his blessing, but he's gonna be there to chaperone you all.
Genuinely, I don't think I have a problem with that.
Just let him know where in the state you're going to be. You said taking off on an airplane, so he assumes at one of the airports. Or were you thinking about doing like a private airfield?
We'd probably have to find some kind of private airplane that could fit us all. Someone willing to fly over a secret island in Alaska.
Bye-bye.
She's trying to get me to take her outside, but I can't take her outside and play the game at the same time. Very cruel of me, I know.
Just tell her 50 more minutes. 50 more minutes.
Yep. She's got to learn to be patient.
Okay, so you've got his blessing. Eddie, do you call your gang, the larger gang back and let them know where to meet up?
I will. Of course, there's a chance they've already been infiltrated by the Hellfires and they're going to betray me, but I'm going to call them anyway.
Okay, you're whoever you left in charge back there answers the phone. Eddie?
Never let it be said Eddie won't make a mistake.
I don't believe that has ever been said.
All right, so your flunky answers the phone. Yeah, he recognizes your number, so he's like, Eddie, what's up?
Let the gang know we're ready to move.
Where are we meeting up at? There's a few guys,
Anyone we can round up, and I'll give them the airfield where we're going to meet in Oregon.
Whoa!
Be low key about it. We will be supervised by the Oregonians, so we do have to be on our best behavior.
Are we doing a job in Oregon?
No, that's just gonna be our luncheon place. We wouldn't need to do a job in Oregon. If these guys were in Oregon, we just have the Oregonian smash them. No, that's just our launching ground.
Okay. So get the guys headed out that direction then. Alright, so a day later or so. Well, a couple days later, probably. Everybody starts filtering in. In the meantime, you found a small airfield. A local pilot that's willing to make the flight. You do have to pay him quite a bit, though.
Good news is we had money.
Yeah. Money has not been an issue since the first job. Thanks to the syndicate. So yeah, everybody starts meeting up. Dynaman shows up with Indispensable and Knockout Queen. Knockout Queen seems impatient, like she just wants to get this over with. Like it's just no, I take that back. I'm sorry, I'm getting the timeline messed up. She does seem like she's in a, in a hurry to get started. But that may just be it may just be that she's easily bored just standing around.
Thank you for coming out. Sorry about last time we saw each other.
She just gives you a hard stare.
Fair. Indispensable, how you doing? Put a hand out.
He hesitates, kind of looks over at his dad, and then shakes your hand. He didn't necessarily look happy to see you either.
I mean, it's understandable. Last fight didn't go super great for him. Dynaman, thank you also for coming out. I put a hand towards him.
He shakes your hand.
Yeah.
Well, this organization's got to go down. And with the lack of manpower, superhuman manpower we've got,
Yeah, I didn't want to say it on
can't be picky about who I'm working with.
I also didn't want to say it on the phone just in case, but we do have Spear hitting a second location.
Yeah, they should actually be hitting it this very day. So we had 2 possible locations.
Yeah, we just expect we're, just thinking like supervillains. An island is usually the place to go rather than a ranch.
It depends. An island is more where you'd have a base, where a ranch might just be a safe house to fall back to. But my money would be on checking the island first. If they were just hiding, maybe the ranch. But if they're going to try to rebuild their organization, at least up there, it shouldn't be a volcanic island.
It's also a good place for missiles and death rays.
Yeah, you can fit those on a ranch pretty easy too. As long as you got enough open space.
But all right, so we've got our people together. An expensive plane.
Eddie, the guys from Detroit show up. They're the last ones to arrive. They didn't have a bunch of flight powers or super jets or
Right.
They basically flew into one of the big towns on the west and then drove into wherever y'all's smaller airfield was, or Ubered out there. They show up, and you recognize some of them you don't know real well, but you recognize everybody. Now they don't have the animal mad, the larger group in Detroit.
Right. No, they're not going to play that game.
Some of them have slight visible mutations. And all of them have some minor ability or other.
Yeah.
They're not going to want to go toe to toe with a superhero, but imano. But they're a little better than just regular thugs. The whole time, the Oregonian has been just walking around talking to everybody, not really trying to be intimidating, but it's like he talks to everybody. He makes sure everybody knows he's there, and then he knows that they're there. Like I said, he's not the sort of person to threaten, but you get the impression that that anytime he deals with somebody, you get the impression that, or that he's giving the impression that they shouldn't cause any trouble. Now, you guys, he tells you he's real sorry he can't go with you. But he wouldn't be much good to you once y'all got up there.
It's understandable. It's just glad you're giving us a nice jumping off point.
Well, yeah. He's here largely to make sure none of Mr. Eddie's friends get too out of hand.
We'll be on our best behavior.
But if his being here means they don't, that you're not attacked ahead of time, well, he's happy for that too. He does spend a lot of time talking to Dynaman. They're sitting around talking like two professionals in the same field that each of them has heard of the other one, but they never actually met. And you hear him discussing the fact that the Primus is back. Though he doesn't seem to have been very active since he's been back.
Could have used him.
I don't know. He might take y'all out of jail once y'all were done with the bigger three. Once everybody's gathered, y'all start loading up. Reports start coming over the news about Spear raiding a ranch in South Dakota. No real details at the moment. Fairly early in the morning, they hit it with, all kind, boatloads of agents. Some of those armored suits that y'all have run into. There was a lot of noise, a lot of conflict. But when local news crews showed up, the police and state troopers were already there to keep them back. But they recorded a good 30 minutes of explosions and flashes of light and stuff from the ranch. Once it settled down, Spear is acknowledged that there was a raid, and the rumors are going around that it was tied to this Hellfire organization that's been in the news so much lately. And that's all the details y'all have got, that y'all can get from that TV.
Did the senator send any information to us?
He has not of yet.
All right.
So y'all load up in the plane. The pilot's name is Mitch Samford. He was a former stunt pilot. Then once he got out of that, he went into this. He's had a couple of blemishes on his record. He's come close to losing his piloting license at one point. But he's in a bit of debt, so that money you were offering was more than he could resist. Somebody's happy.
Let's not go that far. Someone found a new game.
Uh-oh, what game is she playing?
Poke the cat.
The fun game.
It is.
It's fun till the cat decides to poke back. Alright, so y'all take off. Curtis, what did you roll a D100 for?
I was playing around, sorry.
Oh. I was trying to think of a single chart in the book. What what it could be. But what was that? Oh yeah. All right, so y'all take off. Everybody's sitting down. There's nobody. You know, there's no like flight attendants or anything. It's a small like personal jet sort of setup. If you remember the plane from the Incredibles that she gets to the island with, that's about the size you're dealing with. There's plenty of room for the number of people on board.
So it's a very nice little plane.
Yeah. He basically makes his living flying executives and stuff, either out of Portland to other spots in the country, or bring them in for business related reasons. But Eddie's, and at this point, Eddie's personal crew has got all their well, they probably never took it off, but have got their masks on. But they're sitting over there cutting up and carrying on, and
as expected.
Yeah. Any of you guys look at them and go, "Oh yeah, these are people Eddie would hang out with." Not all of them try to do the over-exaggerated gangster thing Eddie does, but several of them do.
Edward, your friends are so delightful.
Aren't they?
Oh, I just wish I could get to know all of them so much better. Oh God, what I just said.
So Fairy Prince, did you contact the trolls?
I told them to start preparing, and I will send their missive to. I gave them the location of the island, so they could start preparing their own weird troll magic to get them where I need them to go.
No, so they're not on the plane. They're not there stinking the plane up. Okay.
Yeah, no.
About the
I'm
time
an asshole,
we take
but I'm
off.
not that big of an asshole.
About the time we take off, Eddie's going to say, if we're attacking a villain secret island lair, maybe we should have tried a submarine.
If a plane crashes, I can swim or land on ground and stay alive. If they sink a submarine, I just drown.
Oh, Muscle, you're too tough to die.
No, I very much can die. At least I'm pretty sure I can.
So Dynaman's group sits over there, kind of eyeballing mostly Eddie's group, truth be told. The guys from Detroit have been fairly quiet. They're sitting there having a drink. Everybody give me awareness rolls.
Sure. Really trying to tickle me? Me?
Number to beat is 10.
You know what? I got the highest I could. Unless you let my danger sense activate to assist.
It would.
I'm an 11. Because they are human. All right.
Alright, and Fairy Prince got a 6. What about anyone?
What are we rolling on?
Awareness. If you got danger sense, that would factor in.
Oh, I actually do. I think. Yeah, Eddie's got 2 points of danger sense, which.
So you said 2 points?
Say, Jason.
Yeah, I technically got a 7.
Oh, would deception or insight be helpful in this?
Insight might be, yes.
Okay, let me make an insight roll. Let me redo my roll with insight then. That's actually worse. Oh well.
Yeah, I was about to say well, wouldn't your insight just add to what you'd rolled before?
Yeah, I guess it would if I
It's
wanted to take my
it's just a
original
specialty,
roll
so that would make you the 11 or 12
Yep.
instead of re-rolling.
I have 2 in insight, so that would be a technical
Oh,
13.
All right, so the only two that notice anything weird is Muscle and anyone. Okay. So you notice the guys from Detroit are sitting over there, hitting their flasks. One of them gets up and goes to the bathroom that's towards the back of the plane. One of them gets up and goes and, basically goes to one of the windows that looks out across the wing, and he's looking out the window. And the other guy gets up and is moving kind of towards the cockpit.
I'll get up and interrupt the one moving to the cockpit, being like, "There's no reason for any of us to go in there."
And anyone, in addition to what they're actually doing, you get the impression they're trying to be very casual about what they're doing.
Conspicuously casual.
Conspicuous to someone in your profession. Muscle, the guy just looks at you and goes, oh, he steps back like, hey, hands up, hey, and he points to the little wet bar. I was just going to see what they had to drink.
My apologies. By all means.
And he walks up to the wet bar, which is, close to the cockpit, not too far from the main door. But instead of reaching for something for the wet bar, he starts to reach up under his coat.
Man, I'm glad I have super speed. Is there any way I can, is there a way I can pop my X-ray vision to see what he's pulling out before he pulls it?
Oh, sure. Give me another awareness roll. And then make the roll for your X-ray vision. Let's see if it burns out.
And then for the X-ray vision to see if it burns out. It does. I get this one look and that's it.
All right.
Which, now that's a raw awareness. Do I need to add the super sense onto it?
What exactly is your super sense?
X-ray. So being able to look through things.
Yeah, that just lets you see through the stuff. That doesn't affect the actual roll.
All right.
So you glance at him. There's definitely something up under that coat, but your vision burns out before you can really see for sure what it is. It's like he's got a vest of stuff around him, and he's reaching for something that's in the pocket of the inside coat. Like I said, you don't get enough of a look before your vision burns out to tell for sure what he's got.
I guess I'll just stay prepped to move then.
Anyone, you see the one by the window start to reach into his coat.
All right, I'll just lunge and try to grab his hand.
Okay, give me a prowess. Ten is the number to beat.
Oh, don't make it.
Nope, you die for him.
Very.
He catches you. He must have caught a little bit of your reflection in the window because he's already kind of spinning around. And you kind of half tackle him, but you can see he's got something that looks like a detonator in his hand.
That's not good.
I'll just shout out explosive.
All right.
And I'll move as fast as I can to pop on the other one that I saw pulling something out of his coat.
All right. Give me a prowess.
Ugh. I rolled 3 ones in a row.
All right, Fairy Prince and Black Dragon. You see anyone lunge across and yell explosive. You see Muscle try to grab the guy up towards the front of the plane, but he kind of dances away. He pulls out, he's holding something in his hand.
I just kind of look at Fairy Prince, and I'm going to say, "Cripes! You're going to say this is my fault, ain't you?"
Why would I ever say that? You've already said it. You've already said it yourself. And I'm going to try to assist anyone.
All right, what are you going to do?
Oh, I'm going to start trying to grapple the guy by the window.
Give me a prowess roll. 9 is the number to beat.
And do I have anything? No. So.
You
Nope,
can't
that's
get it
7.
away from him. The
Hey.
dice are not favoring you today.
I am going to try to assist Muscle. I'm going to spit at the guy that was going after.
All right, this is his coordination.
We are not doing good.
You spit. He yanks his hand out of the way. The spit goes flying past, lands on the wet bar. It starts melting.
Crap! And I ruined the beer.
Not the booze. All right. Everybody, give me an initiative roll. Because what order y'all are going in is going to make a difference here.
Oof.
All right, so they're going on a 7. Eddie is going on an 11. Anyone is going on a 7. Muscle is going
On a 7.
seems to be a theme. Fairy Prince. Tell me it's not a
Going
7.
on a 6.
Okay. And then I will let the other heroes go on a 5 since they were caught completely unawares. Or I say heroes, everybody else on the plane, basically. Descending order. All right, top of the order is Eddie.
Okay, I'm gonna hope that maybe I missed because this guy's coordination was higher than his power or prowess. So I am going to try and I'm going to leap at him and do a bite.
Okay. And this is the one at the front of the plane that
Right,
Muscle's
right,
still
right.
there.
The one Muscle's going after, the one by the cabin.
You rolled an 8. He rolled a 9.
I smashed on the cabin door or something, or the cockpit door.
Well, you don't. You basically land. You leap at him. He gets out of the way, so you kind of attach to the wall of the plane. Next up is anyone?
I would like to try to engage in some sleight of hand to try to kind of maneuver my way into getting my thumb like in between Detroit guy's thumb and the detonator. Is that a thing I can do?
Sure. I would say give me a prowess roll. With your sleight of hand or whatever it was you were going to use.
I'm going to use my sleight of hand roll because the numbers work out the same way.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, not so great.
4.
Oh,
You beat him by 1 though.
all right.
So we're gonna treat this like you put a quality on him.
Okay.
I'm just gonna call it blocked button. So basically, for 1 round, he can't press the button on that thing in his hand.
All right.
Muscle, you're up.
All right. Well, now that I know it's explosive, I will just yeah, I'm just gonna punch the guy in front of me.
Okay.
Just knock him out. Best thing I can do.
All right. That's a prowess versus prowess.
13.
And he rolled a 6. So you beat him by 7. That's a massive success. How much damage do you do?
7.
Okay.
10 on a slam, 11 on the stun.
Just for funsies. Fails both of those spectacularly. So yeah, you hit him. He goes flying back. Hits the wall right next to Eddie. And vanishes in kind of a just almost like a you just hear the slightest little pop noise. And he's gone.
Does it seem like he ported his way out of here, or?
No, he just sort of popped.
Okay.
It's like he was there 1 minute and not the next. So could it have been teleportation? Yeah, maybe.
Or
then-
maybe he's invisible on the plane with an explosive.
Gotcha.
That's worse than anything I thought of.
Yeah, I assume he was just not actually here the whole time.
Could have been like a duplicate.
And keep in mind, there were more than 3 guys from Detroit on the plane. These are just the 3 that got him to start moving around. And then it's their turn. All right. The guy Mike or that anyone is wrestling with, goes to try to push the button. Anyone has gotten, or not magician, has gotten his thumb in the way, so he fails to press the button. And then further back in the plane, there's an explosion. You feel the pressure drop. You hear the sounds of wind sucking out.
Do all the masks drop from the?
Yes, I guess they would. The pilot starts yelling about, everybody strapping in. Though, he's aware something's been going on back there.
There goes our luggage.
You hear from the cockpit, there goes your safety deposit. You look back, and from the look of things, this guy ducked into one of the bathrooms and detonated. Between the one guy popping and the guy in the bathroom, the rest of the guys from Detroit start standing up. And they shimmer, and the images around them drop away. You've seen that sort of thing happen when Fairy Prince would drop an illusion. They're still dressed more or less the same way. In fact, they're all dressed identically. In fact, they've all got the same faces. And the three that stood up, anyone, they're all basically jumping you.
No, boy.
Like they're trying to wrestle you off of their buddy. Or their
I see.
copy, or their twin.
And so they look just like what standard Black Ops Commando types?
No, they still... They all still look like thugs. They just all look like the same thug now.
Oh, okay.
You've dealt with superhero stuff. You immediately realize duplicator. That would
Gotcha.
explain the one guy popping.
And they dogpile on me.
Right. Basically trying to drag you off of their buddy.
Okay.
So that is... two of them are assisting another one. So this would be a wrestling roll. Ooh, 6 is the number to beat.
So this is prowess.
Yes. Or it's wrestling. You may have do you have an option with wrestling? No, I think it's prowess and prowess.
Okay.
And then the escaping, you have the option of using your strength or your something. It would be nice if the PDF would let me.
Look, I just beat the roll.
All right, so you got a 7 versus their 6, which is the 4th 6 I've rolled in a row.
The dice like you better than us right now.
Well, that's a 6 total.
Yeah, that's a 6 total. It was a 1 on the dice on that last dice roll. I think a 2 on the ones before that. All right,
Yeah,
so
I see it now.
they fail to get, you're still on there, buddy. Though you're, it's enough jostling that your thumb is no longer blocking the switch. Fairy Prince, what are you doing?
I'm gonna take out my sword. Instead of the sword, because Dynamite will probably have some things to say if I decapitate one of them and blood starts gushing out instead of they just disapparate. Yeah, I'm just gonna pop a illusion all over the various duplicates that are just like horrible little screaming imps just biting and gnawing at them, screaming, "You're gonna die here! You're gonna die here!" or something like that.
All right. And they would use their awareness to resist this?
Yes, sir.
All right. 9 is the number to beat.
Roll for that.
Okay. And you're doing this over all the goons and the
Yeah, all the goons.
okay, all the guys from Detroit, as we seem to be calling them.
Yep.
The GFDs. So yeah, they all scream, and since they all think they've been hurt, they all pop out of existence. Apparently, the original was not on board.
I mean, he was blowing up a plane. I didn't expect him to be on board. It was just, precaution.
Maybe he was
That's disappointing.
You want a drink?
Of
Sure.
course, we still got a hole in the plane.
Yep, and now all the other
Yeah.
girls go.
Dynamite, would you care to make sure the plane doesn't fall out of the sky?
On it, and he zips down, and where the plane had been, rattling, losing altitude, it levels out a bit. It's like he's holding a little bit steadier.
Oh.
Are we on ground?
No, you're in the air. You were over the ocean at this point.
Oh, okay.
As y'all angle away from Oregon, you're cutting across the ocean to get to the island off Alaska.
So it's time to find life vests.
Of course, you hear all this wind whipping, but you think you hear the sounds of jets. Like there's something flying next to you. And then you watch as that hole just starts filling in. And eventually all that rushing wind stops.
Oh, that's good.
I'm going to hazard a peek back to the rear of the plane, see if I can't tell what just happened.
Yeah, looking back at it, you can see where, all the, interior plane walls got blown down. So you can see the hole, and yeah, it just looks like fresh aluminum.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Did we bring anyone that can do that?
No.
I'll look out a window. What do I see?
You see some kind of souped up, high tech looking jet flying next to the.
Are we having a crossover?
There is a hatch open, and two people are kind of standing out. One guy is gripping the hatch with one arm. And he's got his hand around a young lady. Like he's holding her in place. She's got her hand stretched out towards the plane.
Yes.
They're costumed. They're heroes. You've seen them before. They've been in the news a lot lately. So anyone in Muscle for sure would recognize the Primes. Black Dragon and Fairy Prince probably would. I mean, because it's been big in the news, but you haven't ever had a personal encounter.
Right.
But anyone in Muscle the sort that would keep up with that sort of thing. Muscle would immediately start trying to figure out what their stats are.
Right.
But I know it's the Primes. Seen them before.
Oh.
One of them can make stuff out of stuff. Got it.
Yeah, that was hardly a secret. I mean, most of their baseline powers have been on display before. Dynaman did say he was going to get whoever he could. All right. So y'all continue on, and the jet could probably go a lot faster than y'all, but it seems to be pacing.
No, that's all right.
And as you approach the island, we'll probably wrap here with the island coming into view.
Yay!
So next time we will pick up with basically the first part of the two-part conclusion.
Okay.
Bum bum bum.
So I'm looking forward to that. It should be a nice knockdown dragon. I didn't let you have all that help for nothing.
Yeah, right.
So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed it. I had fun. Hope anybody comes by and watches or listens to this later. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're back next week. Or not next week, next session. 2 weeks from now. And until then, again, I was your GM for the day, Jason. And with me was Mike, a.k.a. Anyone.
Hey.
Zach, a.k.a. the Fairy Prince.
Thank you for joining us.
Curtis, a.k.a. Black Dragon, a.k.a. Eddie the Lizard.
Laters.
And Taylor, a.k.a. Muscle the Muscle.
See you.
We'll see y'all next time.